drifting to me is, it's my life, it's my passion, it's all I want to do.
So this year, being in a top tier car, I expect nothing less than podiums and a potential championship.
This drifting stuff is just, you can't predict what's going to happen.
I've basically gone from being an underdog to being more of a serious contender.
Everyone's got a lot of horsepower now, but I'm not sure if that really matters if you can't put it down.
I was really expecting to come in and just wipe everything up.
As the main Talon Racing FRS, we really can't let any of the other FRSs beat us.
I'm going to stand up for what I believe in. I'm not a chump. People call me a crybaby, whatever you will, but I'm not going to be just chumped out on track. You know, I live and die this sport.
Daigo the Ninja Saito officially turning wheels on our 10th year of Formula Drift competition. Daigo Saito from Japan in the Achilles Radial Lexus SC430 as he comes into turn 9. Here we go, utilizing the whole course with that big wing. Nice job under the bridge. Nice and tight to the clip. A little shallow there, could be deeper on that rear clipping zone. Put your hands together for officially the first burning rubber here of round 1 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. There's the overall score of 72. I apologize, that was incorrect. So let me correct that score. 93.5. The visuals on the screen were incorrect. It is a 93.5. For Daigo Saito, here is your overall second last year, Vaughn Gittin Jr.
Long Beach is an interesting course because it's not forgiving in any way.
Utilizing the whole wall.
You have to be fully committed. You make a mistake and it's just going to be detrimental and most likely ruin your day or your weekend.
A solid run out of the gates for Vaughn Gittin Jr.
You really just want to hit your marks, be consistent, smooth, and just put it down, and that's what we're trying to do.
90.6, that's a 90.6 for Vaughn Gittin Jr. So does not better that of Daigo Saito, but a strong score. That very well could be Vaughn Gittin Jr.'s only run. If he's in the top 16 after all the other drivers run, he automatically advances into the top 16. The remaining 16 drivers and spots of the 32 will be filled by the remaining drivers. And again, the scores will be the better of the two, so their first run could be better than their second and could still get them into the final 16 spots. As we send our third place overall in the 2012 champion, JTP. This is essentially his track. He's got first place both last year and the previous year. Can he get 3? JTP and that new matte finish Falcon. Oh, a huge hit. A huge hit as JTP slams into the wall. And that is going to be a lot of work for Justin Pollock and his team. The parts just scattered about. Clean up on aisle 1 or clean up on turn 10 in this instance. Here we go with Ryan Turk, run 1 of potentially 2, or it could be 1 and done.
So yesterday in qualifying, the first run went pretty good. It definitely could have been better. I was being a little bit conservative with the new chassis and just still kind of feeling things out.
A safe, moderate run from Ryan Turk.
We ended up 7th, which is actually very solid for our first time qualifying in a brand new chassis, and that went pretty good.
Getting the score for Ryan Turk, and it is an 83. So just to clarify, going back through the scores to the top to the bottom, Daigo Saito. So really, wow. So let's make some corrections here. I'm just being informed that those scores were incorrect. Daigo Saito, his score was an 81. Vaughn Gittin Jr. was the next driver. He got an 83.1. And then next, obviously, you have Justin Pollock, got a 0. Took it hard into the wall, and we'll see if he can get it back together even for a second run.
We had some trouble yesterday smashing the wall, but it just shows how strong my team is, and they were able to put the car back together kind of for a qualifying run. The front right wheel was actually pushed back 3 inches. So it was pretty sketchy to drive, but I was able just to kind of motor it through the course and lay down a qualifying lap good enough for 23rd, which got us in the show. They took it over to Sam's Autoland last night, pulled the frame straight, and it's still a little bumped and bruised up, but it's here today, and it feels like nothing ever happened.
Then Ryan Turk score at 83. So did you guys get that? We go with the Norwegian Hammer, Fredrik Osbo. Remember, all these drivers on Twitter and Instagram, at Fredrik Osbo is his name. The bright orange of Osbo safely A safe distance away from the wall is Osbo. Great smoke coming off the car, looking exciting in that TC. Nice and tight around the peninsula. Make some noise for the Norwegian Hammer, Fredrik Osbo. Fredrik Osbo's final score, currently 4th in points with a 79.1. That's a 79.1 for the Norwegian Hammer, Fredrik Osbo. We are clear to send our next driver here. And it looks like it is 2011 champion, Slide or Daijiro Yoshihara. Daijiro Yoshihara in the Discount Tire, America's Tire, Falcon Tire V8 S13. Yeah, Dai. Nice and tight to the wall. Making it look good as that 2011 champion. Sounded a lot meaner under the hood. Garnishing some applause even from one of the judges, Andy Yen. Definitely impressed. And there it is, a new leader, Daijiro Yoshihara, currently first with an 87.8. That's an 87.8 for Daijiro Yoshihara.
First in qualifying. How do you feel about that?
Well, you know, obviously this year, if they change the qualifying system, you know, I only got one chance to do well. And, you know, luckily I did it. So I'm really happy. And this is the first time I'm getting first place in qualifying in like 3 years or something. So I'm really pumped. And, you know, but, you know, it doesn't mean anything if I don't go further than top 32. So, you know, I just keep this momentum going through the day tomorrow, and then hopefully I can get on the podium.
So our new format, he could very well be one and done. Won't have to do a second run if he stays atop. All right, here we go with our next driver, and this is the Goosh, Ken Gushi, Sayonara Perez.
We really honestly learned a lot with the performance of the car last year, and we really wanted to analyze what we were lacking last year. So, you know, we really tried to apply all that data and refresh the car for 2013, and that is the final product we have here.
I gotta say, I'm loving the airbrush looking graphics. Looking good. Make some noise for the Goosh, Ken Gushi.
What's interesting is that, you know, so you have your first set of scores for the top 16 who are already seeded for the top 32 eliminations. But for the second round of qualify, whoever qualifies 17th place can possibly have a higher score than the first place qualifier, because the first place qualifier doesn't have to run anymore.
Ken Gushi with a 73.4 for the Goosh.
You know, we had that happen this time. I was able to score a solid 14th place. My score wasn't all that good, and I really wanted to improve my score, but you know, as long as we're in the show, I guess that's all that matters. And I just basically sat down for the rest of the qualify and watched the rest of the field club.
Now have the top 32. Here we go. Qualifying first, Dai Yoshihara, Darren McNamara second, Mike Essa third, Chelsea Denofa fourth, Kenny Moen fifth, Vaughn Gittin Jr. slides into sixth. Qualifying seventh, Ryan Turk, Daigo Saito in eighth, Fredrik Osbo ninth, Forrest Wang in 10th, Taka Ayano in 11th, Odi Bakshi's 12th, slide into 13th, Ryan the Kid Cotto, 14th, Ken Gushi, 15th, Chris Forsberg, and 16th, Matt Powers. This is top 32, and I'm only seeing one car, and unfortunately, the car that this man, our number one qualifier, going against number 32 was Tyler McCory. Tyler McCory, a no-show. I just got word from his spotter, former Drift competitor at one time, Tommy Sewell, gave me an update. He grenaded his bonnet, his diff. His diff exploded. So he's on the line, in his paddock, trying to work on it. A no-show, Ryan, already out of the gate. This is it's a gift and a curse. A gift to get a new car, but a curse because it's a new car and you're gonna have some issues. So there's an automatic buy run. This is basically saying you can turn them and burn them. You automatically have to do it. So starting out kind of anticlimactic here for Dai Yoshihara, but gets a little practice run here. Out to the rear clipping zone. Now, Brian, break down exactly what the judges are looking for, the same judges, and also the system that they're going to be using. Debuting a new system.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the biggest thing is really linking together the course as best as you possibly can. You can see right here, Daijiro Yoshihara not really needing to do much here, but cross the finish line. He comes out, shoots wide right here. The judges want to see you get out to that outer wall as close as you can, and then right there, nice job on that outside clipping zone. And again, trying to push towards that outer wall on the second outside zone as you transition into the hairpin, get close to that inside clip, and then shoot out towards the finish line. Now, what you're going to be seeing as the judges are actually scoring these runs in real time is a graph will come up on the screen below. You will see that it'll be in the center as soon as the run starts, and as one driver is getting advantage over another driver, the graph will go in the direction of that driver. Up will represent the lead driver, down will represent the chase driver, and you'll be able to tell in real time what's going on inside the judges' heads, but then they'll still score the run the way that they saw it.
So it is official. Tyler McCory is out. So moving on to our next battle. Daigo the Ninja Saito versus who's Danny George? He says, we are Danny George. I believe we are trying to locate, Danny George. Who's Danny George? We are Danny George, but where is Danny George is the question. Who, what, when, where, and why is Danny George not to the start line? If he fails to pull up to the line, basically forfeits this battle. He is calling Danny George is calling it, or is he out?
He's calling a competition timeout right now. It's been awarded to him. He was not at the line, so that'll be his one and only competition timeout. And we will probably move on to the next pair here while Danny George assesses the situation to figure out what he is going to do to get to the line against Daigo Saito.
Yeah, so unfortunately, is he having issues? Is he late to the line? But look, now Danny shows up late to the party. I mean, I know he's an animal. He's a short little power pack and punch. Drives a little car with a big engine, but honestly, we're looking for a spotter. That's not the kind of driver we're looking for. You need to be on it. And I'm a little frustrated right now, let's be honest, because Danny, if you're getting it, if you're bringing it, you got to bring it. So get up to the line. Daigo Saito, again, our champion. Danny, let's see what you got as you're going against one of the best in the biz. Some consider people the best drifter in the world, the Ninja, going against Danny George. All right, here we go as Daigo Saito is now going to lead. Danny George giving chase. Danny George as Daigo Saito obviously pulling away from him. This is not a race, this is drifting. We're looking for obviously speed, line angle style. And Daigo Saito kind of playing it easy there, Ryan, as he was quite a few feet off of the rear clippings. Oh, Danny George diving in. A huge correction there by Danny, almost centering his door. Not a great performance by either driver. Obviously, Danny George way down there. You see the judges and the immediate knob turning of these guys, the Formula D, the Formula Drift knobs, as they're being implemented into here. But Daigo, not a great lead run there.
So even though Daigo Saito running a little bit conservatively in that first run, certainly a big advantage going into run 2.
Here we go. Danny George is going to lead. Daigo Saito giving chase. Danny transferring Daigo Saito right there. Man, you really get an idea of how small that car is, even next to a Lexus SC430, which traditionally isn't that big of a car. But man, Daigo Saito all over Danny George. And there you have it. So you saw the knob and the judges favoring Daigo Saito, so I have to assume Daigo's going to get the win, Ryan.
Yeah, you can see right there in real time the graph showing that all three judges were concurring that Daigo Saito was certainly in the lead there. Obviously a big deficit for Danny George to overcome in that first run with a couple of mistakes. Daigo Saito stayed with him the whole time, nice and aggressive, should be an easy win.
Daigo Saito gets the win. Daigo Saito in the Achilles Radial not V8, 2JZ powered Lexus SC430. Danny George, a little bit late to the party, and looks like his party is over for Danny George. Moving on to this battle, here it is. Chelsea Denofa. Chelsea Denofa going against Carl Rydquist. Now we've seen Carl Rydquist in competition before, back in 2009. He is 0-for-3, but looking a lot better in this 250Z. Drove 250Z back in 09, as well as Chelsea Denofa back behind the wheel of his BMW, and created a gap already out of the gate as Denofa wrapped around that clip. Carl Rydquist, a traditional race car driver, gone sideways as he competed again back in Formula Drift in 2009. Carl Rydquist is now going to lead. Both these guys part of the Turbos by Garrett Gearheads. So here we go, Carl going to initiate into that turn. Definitely slammed. Got stanced out here as Carl very slow. Very slow coming off the first wall as Chelsea actually corrected. And the judges kind of even keel and then favored Denofa. Again, the driver on the right, Denofa on the bottom side of that line there. You can see the Ford Go Further instant scoring system right there as Carl Rydquist with the disadvantage. Carl was very slow on that, obviously affecting Chelsea Denofa's performance there.
Top 32 run went pretty well, didn't have any issues, wound up taking the win.
And we'll make it official. Slide him on over, and it's unanimous. Chelsea Denofa gets the win in the BC Racing Nitto Tires BMW E46. He's moving on. The Norwegian Hammer. Norway, I know you're watching. Vikings stand up. Here comes Hammer time. He's going against Toshiki Yoshioka. Toshi King, 86, his handle. He's in the Subaru BRZ GT Net. Tomei powered, Tomei crate engine. We are good to go as Osbo's going to lead. Yoshioka giving chase. Pretty even keel right now as Osbo. Good job, good transition. Pretty straightforward. Osbo bringing it all the way down. As Yoshioka, he is there, a little bit of straightening there. Judges kind of liking Osbo, obviously in the lead position. Yoshioka, not a bad chase job there, but you can see in the immediate scoring system, them favoring Osbo going above the line. So now we're going to alternate the order as Osbo will be chasing down that of Toshiki Yoshioka.
How did the battle go?
It went smooth. Not my best friends, I think. We've been able to step it up a notch today in practice, but it was 2 decent runs. Yoshioka had a great run behind us, and he's developed a lot of speed, but we were, barely able to go through here.
Great chase by Frederick Osbo. He's got to be getting the win.
And not a bad job for Yoshioka on his first ever maiden voyage for that Subaru BRZ. They worked feverishly on that car. It was, obviously, at Tech Day it was all white. Now it's looking good, kind of an homage to the black and white Panda scheme, and it looks good in the GT net, but not, looks don't get you everywhere. So Frederick Osbo moves on to the top 16. Yoshioka is knocked out. Moving on to this battle, here it is. Familiar face, but a new car. He's in the Retax Lifestyle Backpacks. FRS is Ryan Turk. He's going against the CX Racing S14 of Jeff Jones. As Ryan Turk throws it out. Tires built by Portland Speed Industries with help from InjukuRacing.com. As Jeff Jones CX Racing LA wraps. He's on hand-cooked tires. Nice solid run. Jeff Jones really impressing me. Now we're switching it up. Jeff Jones, CX Racing, hand-cooked tires, V8 S14. Going against Ryan Turk. If you haven't seen it already, Turked. It's a brand new YouTube show on Network A, which is the Action Sports channel. So check it out. All the content on Network A. And Ryan Turk and his Turk show. You might see myself out there. Some cool stuff that we're getting out here. So Jeff Jones for the lead. Ryan Turk giving chase. Retax Lifestyle Backpacks. Scion FRS on Axis tires. Good transition for these guys. Looks like Jeff Jones pulling away a little bit right there. Yesterday's where Ryan Turk got into a tussle with the wall, but fortunately saved his car. Door to door, Jeff Jones struggling quite a bit of speed there.
Round of 32 was a complete nail biter for me. I went one more time with Jeff Jones, who was absolutely killing it and took me by a huge surprise.
Here we go, back to the one more time battle, Ryan. Ryan Turk is going to lead Jeff Jones. Nice job by Turk, not utilizing the whole wall there. Relentless, dude. He said it best, and I can't get it out of Jeff Jones, man. Ryan, oh, man.
I ended up tagging the second outside clip wall, and it kind of stalled me out a little bit. He ended up hitting my wheel, breaking a tie rod, and not being able to fix it in time, so I got to move on to top 16.
For top 32, we were matched up against Kyle Mohan, and he's an excellent tandem driver, so I knew that I can't just take it easy and just cruise it through. So I led in the first lap and just had to make sure that we had a solid first run, and I think I pulled off the best lead lap in that single run for tandem I did all weekend. So my qualifying run wasn't even nearly as close to the wall as my top 32 run.
Around that clip as Mohan takes out the clip.
Now we switched to the following lap where I was behind Kyle Mohan. I had already been told from my spotter that we had a pretty solid advantage from the first lap, so I just knew I can't make any mistakes.
The Menace going a little too hard there, so now he's going to lead a deficit for him, and the judges made it real clear. Sweep outside. You don't need to get that
right there. That's what the judges are looking for. You can see a little bit more conservative this time. Kyle Mohan did a nice job on that outside wall.
Yeah, Kyle Mohan did a really good job there. Makushi not backing down. Great job by the Scion FRS of the Goose on hand-cooked tires. Oh, and now both of them 1-2 punching that final Peninsula clip, but Kyle Mohan knew he had to let it all hang out.
I just gave it a really solid following lap, and we got the win.
Here's our next battle, Ryan Vaughn Gittin Jr.
I just want to say that drifting is insane right now. What we're doing out here in Formula D, it's borderline scary.
Oh!
The cars and the progression and the talent of the teams and the drivers every year, and this year is no different.
Now's where it gets interesting. Gooden's going to lead. Gittin's going to give chase. Vaughn Gittin Jr. quite a bit back there, but now he's lunging forward under the bridge. Nice job with his sweet pass. Santa Claus. And that putting it down.
The capabilities of these machines are just epic. Just really pumped to be a part of it all.
Vaughn Gittin Jr. is switching over to the beard life. He's running that beard out there. See if the beard brings him some good luck, and it does. Vaughn Gittin Jr. gets the win, taking out the king of spring break, Pat Goodin. Well, it's not spring break just ended, but it's always spring break. when you're around Pat Gooden, so I'm sure he's going to crack a cold one and hang out and watch from the sides and cheer on Vaughn Gittin Jr. because if you can't beat him, cheer him on, right? That's the end of the United States Air Force Top 32. Now for Ryan Sage.
Got some great battles coming up. Daijiro Yoshihara, Matt Powers, Daigo Saito versus Frederick Osbo, Chelsea Denofa versus Ryan Cotto, Kenny Moen versus Odi Bachi, and on the other side?
On the other side, you got Darren McNamara, the Irishman, going against Chris the Force Forsberg, Ryan Turk versus JTP, Mike Essa versus Gucci, and you talked about it. It came down to that last round for Gittin, and guess who took out Vaughn Gittin Jr. last year at Irwindale? It was that man, Pat Mordaunt, who he's going to be going against for the final battle of the top 16. So thank you guys. Ryan Sage, we'll see you back up here in a little bit. We're going to go cruise the Vendor Village. If you're here live and in the flesh, come on, join us, get some autographs, get some swag, and we'll see you back here for the first round of the Formula Gym Pro Championship presented by GoPro.